right, Mr. Burgett. That's how you pronounce it?
Burgett.
Burgett. Okay, so
The G is soft. It sounds like a J.
so where are you from?
Well, forgiveness, first of all. My voice is normally not this raspy. I'm not trying to be like Darth Vader, so to speak.
As you can tell, Star Wars. I see you love Star Wars.
I do, but I love students. So as a classroom teacher and educator, I like to have a theme, something fun, something very universal, something that has appeal to all boys and girls, regardless of their background, regardless of ethnicity, race. Star Wars is very popular with a lot of people, and so I like to have something to welcome kids in.
Okay, so just a very welcoming person. My first impressions of you, you remind me of me, or I should remind you of you. We're both very energetic. This is pretty much a conversation that I'd like to have with you to introduce you to the parents. Because I know parents, especially in a Catholic school, like to be personal.
Yes.
And so by being personal, I feel this is a perfect way to be personal. Could you just tell us a little bit about you growing up, your Catholic background? I mean, most of us have this fall away during our middle school, high school years.
Oh, I could tell. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I can confess to that, yes.
And I know parents, at least here at Assumption, they love knowing the teachers. We get personal with them. Could you just tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your background? Because if I see you, I see a Hispanic man. Right? You look Hispanic, but your name is not Hispanic.
Right.
So there must be some fun behind that. And also, your Catholic faith. I know you're very strong in your Catholic faith. I've spoken to you several times, and I've been impressed. Right, something new to me. So I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Aguilar, so much for having me. I'm very blessed to be here, very glad, and at your service. I have an open door policy for parents, for students, for staff. If my door is open, it's open. That means come in. I give on my email signature, I give my email, my cell phone, and I want folks to be able to reach out to me. I want to be accessible and visible. That's one of my biggest goals for the community. So I want students to be able to go to Mr. Burgett's office and have a conversation with me. I want them to feel free to come visit just afterwards to say hello. I'm trying to make a kid-friendly place. I'm creating a little library area for them to have things to keep busy and books. And so visibility and accessibility are extremely important, I think, in a Catholic school especially, but really for any educator, I believe. Where I'm from? Well, I was born in Houston, Texas. My mom is from Bolivia, and my father is from Houston, hence the mix of backgrounds. I love my Bolivian heritage. I've gone to Bolivia twice. This last year, for the first time, I took my own family there. My two daughters and my wife, as well as my mom. And that was an awesome experience to get back to my roots and get to go to see some family there that I haven't seen in many years. Get to go to my grandfather's grave. Really, that's where my Catholic background comes from. It comes from my mom's background. My grandfather was very strong Catholic, and he had a great influence on me, even though his life was cut short, so to speak, and he passed. I must have been 11 years old.
You're young.
But I have vivid memories, and I believe it's honestly his life and my mom's prayers that have clung to me and that have kept me as a Catholic my entire life. And you talked about a falling away. For a time, I was still Catholic. I didn't never put it down. But as a young man, maybe ages 15 really to 25, I had a period of searching. I had a period in which I was questioning things, and in which I had to discover a lot of things on my own. And praise God, I had a very real personal revelation and conversion, and I came back to the faith that I was taught as a young man, and came back to the Catholic Church after many years. I don't know if it was 10 or a little more than that, but I'm estimating. And that was the time I walked back to Sacred Heart Co-Cathedral downtown, the old one. Mm-hmm. I missed that building.
Oh, yeah.
I went back there for the first time. I met my wife, decided at that time with this new perspective, decided to go into education and pursue my heart's desire, which is working with young people. I had planned on being an attorney. I was at the time taking classes at South Texas College of Law downtown. So around the time that I was 26, with my faith being the grounding and the motivation and really what freed me, honestly. I felt at that point free to pursue my heart's desire, which is education, which is ultimately why I'm here. I've been working in education as a certified teacher since 2004, since August of 2004, and I've been working as a certified administrator since like 2009. I've been in inner city schools in Houston, serving populations very similar to the wonderful community that we have here. Most of it in public or free and public charter, but I have served as principal at St. Augustine Catholic School sometime ago, back from 2010 to 2012.
Your story reminds me of St. Augustine's. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
A little bit.
St. Monica prayed for the conversion of her son, right? Mm-hmm. He was a great speaker. He was, but lived a life. He fell away, not really fall away, right? But he never had that relationship with God. And so St. Monica prayed, and that's why she's a saint, because she prayed so much for the conversion of her son that not only did he convert, but he became a priest and a bishop. And now he's one of the church fathers. Right. And so with that being said, what struck me the most just from listening to you right now was that personal relationship, right? I think, I've been here for 2 years, and one thing that I've noticed, and of which I would like to stress more this year as a religion coordinator, is the relationship with God, right? Because this community is one of many fruits that are not being nurtured, right? Because of social media, and this is why we're doing this interview, right? Because you and I both agree that social media and technology has a good.
Yes.
There's nothing bad with having a conversation about who you are, who I am, more personal. Yesterday, for those who don't know, there was a conference, or really the Jubilee of the content creators, Catholic content creators, because now the new platform of evangelization is social media, right? We're going to evangelize. And I've always had this in my heart to evangelize our community through the media, right? And so now that we have that affirmation, that confirmation from even the Pope himself, right? Because he met with them, to evangelize the social media realm, right?
Yes.
This world, to be personal. You spoke a lot about being personal with students, with parents, with teachers. Would you say that your own personal life, your own family background, and the way you are as a husband and a father will help you in this upcoming school year?
Well, I don't think that you have to be a parent per se to be an educator, correct? But I think it's very helpful to be able to draw from that lens, to be able to see things as a parent. My first daughter was born actually in my first year teaching. It was a monumental year. I'll never forget it. In 2004, I was seeking a job, and I really was under a crunch because honestly, to stay in my ACP program, I would have lost a semester of work, so to speak, if I didn't get accepted into a position. Long story short, and then we had a child on the way, so there's very much a financial need to go into the workplace. And long story short, God provided. I'll never forget, I interviewed on a Friday and came to work, I believe, the next Monday. And I think it's very helpful to be able to have the lens of a parent, that had very little means to provide for my family at the time. I'm very empathetic towards folks if they're struggling to pay for a Catholic education for their child. I'm your biggest proponent. I've been on food stamps. We've received government assistance. I've been a student with a wife that's a student trying to pay our bills, and then with a child on the way. And so I understand that struggle, and I want everyone to know that while I have to follow the rules of the church and the archdiocese, I will do everything I can to help families afford a Catholic education for their children. And for that, I think it's really important to be able to, again, see through the lens of a parent as an educator and as a principal.
And I think that's important for parents to understand that this is a Catholic school, right? No one's left out. I like that saying, no child is left behind. And, as you're a parent, I'm a parent, we know that faith is fundamental, right? And something that I liked about you is that you actually put a Catholic identity above academics. Not to say that you don't care about the academics part,
right.
But you see that it's important to show that identity as a Catholic, as our faith is strong. And by putting our faith first, then academics will begin to be put in place. For those parents who don't know, what exactly stands out? What's the difference between a Catholic school? What should be the difference between a Catholic school and a public school? Why come here out of all places?
Of course, definitely. So our priorities are for me threefold, if you want to get very basic. Number one, safety. Because without safety, without keeping the students, the teachers, the environment safe, we can't accomplish anything, okay? Then our next priority is to ensure Catholic identity, because everything flows from that. Perhaps that's why I like that. I've always been drawn to the mythology of Star Wars, because everything flows from the Force, right? And I feel everything flows from our relationship with God. Everything flows from our Catholic identity. If we get that right and do that to the best of our ability, we will carry God's blessing, and we will be more powerful with the third thing, which is the academics. That's something that free and public charter, there's great schools that come from a great free and public charter, International Leadership of Texas. I'll drop their name. It's a great place for dual language. It's a great place for servant leadership, but they're not able to teach the Catholic faith. They're not able to help students in their relationship with Jesus Christ and in participation in the church and the sacraments. They can never offer that. And of course, the public schools can't offer that. And so your character education, your social emotional learning, it's going to be weaker without that. And I believe, again, your academics, they will be in their proper place, and God will bless those things even more powerfully if we're taking care of the Catholic identity element.
And how do you think, of course, I'm going to help you in that, right? I have my own ideas.
Yes, you're going to be my biggest partner with making sure that's how that's carried out logistically, what it looks like, what needs to be done, and then of course we partner with the pastor, we partner with our leader, and then he has resources and folks in the community. Forgive me with the name, the sister that's going to be joining us hopefully in the upcoming year. We're going to incorporate all of these individuals. We're going to work with the teachers in their faith formation, because you cannot give what you do not have, and make sure that we're providing the very best faith formation for the kids that we can.
And how do you think that'll be incorporated to school, right?
Daily. At first, in everything that we do, you talked about, your relationship. That's it. That's the key. Prayer is an ongoing conversation. Yes, you have corporate prayer. Yes, you have prayers that you read and that you memorize, but prayer is an ongoing conversation. being in union with the Holy Spirit that's leading you. Sometimes we don't even know what to pray for, and the Spirit prays for us. And so ongoing conversation in everything we do, in sports, in classes. Now we have our religion class, which is unique, in which we're going to learn the teachings of the church. We're going to learn everything in good order, and there's times that you're going to lead us in this, and we have a curriculum for that. And I'm very new with it, but the ARC is such a useful tool for helping us to provide the correct teaching to the students, and for helping to evaluate the needs of our faculty as well that are teaching. So we have religion class, but then in everything that we do, of course, we have worship. We have Mass every Wednesday, and then we hope that folks will come to Mass in the parish on Sundays. They don't have to, but we invite our school community to come to the parish as well on occasions, and then if they want to become regular parishioners, I think that's an awesome thing.
So it's funny you say that, because my theme, I have my own YouTube channel, right? And I presented in my latest episode that the theme for my class this year is do everything in the glory of God, right? To glorify God. I think that's where you're getting to, right? To glorify God in everything that we do.
Yes.
I think that's what makes us different from a public school. That we
Correct.
do everything for the aim, not for ourselves, but for God, right? To reach out to people, to help people. One thing that just crossed my mind is exactly that, right? We live in a society where money is number one, right? We need money, and of course we need money. But, everyone says, without money, you can't be happy, right? And our kids, of course, come with this mentality, because a lot of them have parents who have their own businesses, which is good. Thank God they do, right? Because they have a good living. Now, some kids don't have that, right? Don't have parents who have money. And so those are the kids that are always looking to find that satisfaction in money. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes down to religion class, what would you, because of course I have my own view as a religion coordinator, as a religion teacher, on what I can do to help that child. Correct. But as a principal, how can you touch a parent to help that parent help her child or his child to find a relationship with God when they block God out because they have nothing?
Well, okay, so that's a very complex question. And at the end of the day, I don't have all the answers, but I can say a couple of things. One, God is faithful to provide, but you have to ask. Ask and you shall receive. And then you put the kingdom first, and then all these things will be added unto you. Those would be the things that I would go back to. So worry about your relationship with God, and then you'll be in a better position to teach something to your children. One, to teach by example. One, they're looking at what we do before they look at what we tell them explicitly or what we order them to do or command them to do. They're seeing how we treat other people. They're seeing how we treat family members, our own parents. They're seeing how we treat them, and our spouse especially. And so I think that, if you put things in their proper place, that gives you power. God is always faithful to provide. That may not mean that you're living lavishly. There will be times that we have to reach out to Him. There's times that we're stretched thin, but I'm a firm believer that He will make a way. But if you put your relationship with Him first, seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. That's what I would go back to. That's what I would teach parents. That's what I would ask parents to reflect upon. And that's what I'll tell kids to do. Worry about your relationship with God. Worry about your relationship with Jesus Christ and how you can be a better disciple. If you're doing that, if you're taking care of your prayer life and that relationship, you don't have to worry about what another person thinks. You don't have to worry about people making fun of you, because you know who you are in God's eyes, right? You don't have to obsess about your grades. If your relationship with God is right, He's going to bring to light what are your God-given talents and what are the avenues that you need to pursue. Whether you're going to be going into public speaking, or whether you're going to go into religious life, or whether you're going to be a financial manager or an artist or a musician, God will help you to use your God-given talents, but you have to focus on that relationship first. That's what I truly believe, and I've seen it throughout my life.
I love that you're saying that. I'm a big prayer guy. You'll get to know me more. I love prayer. Prayer is number one. That's one thing I teach the kids is prayer, because without prayer, honestly, you're asking questions that can be answered through prayer. Right. That's the first thing I ask the kids, right? The kids come up to me and ask me certain questions, or they're going through something, right? And they want me to give them an answer. And the first thing I always ask them is, have you prayed? Right?
I have a bad habit with that. It's you're looking there. You have this dilemma, and immediately, oh gosh, well, who's really smart with this?
Yeah.
Who's an experienced principal? Who's a colleague that I represent? What does this person think? And then I talk to Pastor, and he asks, did you talk to God about it?
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been fretting, and I've talked to all these people that I think are so learned and accomplished, but have I really stopped and prayed about that first, and then waited? Mm-hmm. Had the patience to wait for an answer, because he's not into microwaving solutions or fast food. Mm-hmm. The best things in life are through the process of discernment. The best things in life are things that we invest in, that take time, where we plant seed and we watch it grow, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you get a quick response. There's sometimes that you have an urgent need. It can maybe life-threatening, right? Yeah. And there's times we have to call out, Abba Father, and He will answer us. But most of the time, we go and we fret and we try to do things our own. We ask other people when we really haven't prayed on it.
Yeah. There's actually a game I invented, but I just changed it up, called Angels and Demons. So it's pretty much the kids are out in the field to teach them prayer, right? They're out on the field. You have demons and you have angels. The angels are trying to get from one end of the field to the other without being touched by a demon. And so if they get touched by a demon, they're frozen, and they have to call out to another angel. Right? Sometimes the angel's right here, sometimes the angel's far away. So that's to teach them that prayer is in the same way. Right? You may pray right now. Sometimes your prayer may be answered today. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your prayer may be answered in 10 years. Mm-hmm. But is that consistency. You're not going to get the help if you don't call out for the angel. Right? You have to call out and keep calling out. Yeah. It's always an ongoing thing, as you've mentioned. And I feel like it's great that it's coming from you rather than me, right? Because I think what these kids, kind of lack is leadership, right? They're a visible leadership, right? Every principal is different, right? The principal we had previous years had her touch, right? Now it's time to move on to the next, point in their life where they need a certain type of principal. You're more, from what I see, right? You have a lot of things in your classroom. You have pictures. You're more of a visible leadership, right? A visible leader, which means you're not going to leave them alone, right? You're going to be there for them, encourage them. And I'm looking forward to this year, because I know that this year is a year that God has wanted, right? No one is a bad leader. In my mind, no one's a bad leader. There's just certain leaders that certain people need at certain times, right? I needed a leader from my boss 5 years ago. That sort of leader helped me be the person I am today. Having a principal, because the reason I'm saying this is because we're having a change of administration. And people sometimes get scared. Yeah. Right? So, what's going to happen now? We were used to so-and-so. Now we have this new principal. You're the principal we need now, right? We had a principal for 2 years that we needed then. Now we need a principal with your characteristics now. It's not to be scared, because God does things. There's a purpose. Us Catholics don't believe in coincidences. Mm-hmm. We believe in God's will, mm-hmm. right? God has a purpose for everything. And of course, I'm going to touch a little topic that with you, so that we can kind of encourage people. There's no such thing as something bad in God's eyes, in the sense, in essence, right? There is sin, but God uses even the worst of sins for a good.
He can.
Right? And so
if we will seek out repentance and we will accept his forgiveness, then yes.
Exactly. And so nothing is a coincidence and nothing is bad. Everything that has happened in the past, whether bad or good, God is going to use it for a greater good. Right? And so, and I think we'll end there because as we're talking, there was something that popped into my head of something that I think will be fundamental for the future. But we'll talk about that later. But with that, it was. I hope the parents got to know you a little bit, and hope this little interview gave them encouragement to spread the word of Assumption Catholic School. Bring your children here because they will be well taken care of. And Mr. Burgett just said it. Our main goal for this year is Catholic identity, to bring Catholicism to not just your students, but to your homes, to help parents. Finance is not an excuse. Right? We'll help you there, and know that our number one foundation is prayer, and through prayer we hope to bring your student to where he or she should be. And I don't know if you want to add some final.
No, I'm sure we could talk all afternoon, and our stomach's rumbling. We need to eat a proper lunch eventually. But the only thing that I would say is we are going to, like you said from the beginning, we are going to use this platform. We are going to use YouTube, social media appropriately, with your permission, with the immediate release forms. We will respect if a parent wants to abstain and not sign media release. We will respect that. We will follow everything in good order. But we will use this platform to show, for the glory of God, to show what's happening in the school. It's for the purpose of, one, edifying the parents and families and students, being able to see themselves, being able to hear about school events, being able to see their religion coordinator and guests come on, to be able to participate in daily announcements where we're not only praying, but then we're going over school events and going over important historical events and showing what we're doing at the school, community events. I want it to be a place where we show all the awesome things that we're doing in the school, that we're doing with the church, that we're going to do with the PTO. Join us, parents. I want all of our parents to join our PTO, even if that doesn't mean that you have to be here every other week, but it means that we're all investing in this community, that you have a say in it, that you have a stake in it, and that you're invited. We'll ask folks that are volunteering to get the proper safe environment training. It's only like an hour and a half. It's easy to do. You can do it at your online. But we want everyone to partner with us and become part of this community. And we will use social media to keep you informed, to show the beautiful and awesome things that we're doing with our Catholic identity, with faith formation, with academics, and with extracurricular activities. And finally, to have us visible to the rest of the world, to welcome people to come here to receive the good news of Assumption, because it's the good news of the gospel.
Yes, amen to that. Well, with that, can't wait to start 25-26 with you, your school year with you. And I hope that God, and I know He is, will provide in this school year for all the students, both emotionally and spiritually. And with that being said, God bless you all. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon.
See you very soon. See you for the meet and greet on August 4th at 4:30. See you for the first day of school, August 11th. Looking forward to it.
God bless, and see you.